What is going on, everybody? It's Jet Central, and I'm coming back today with some breaking NFL news that actually just happened like 5 minutes ago. That news is that the Buffalo Bills have just hired a former defensive coordinator from the Carolina Panthers, Sean McDermott, as a new head coach of the Bills. This news is huge. I mean, for the players, for the fans, the organization. Sean McDermott. His name bounced around a lot last season too, within the not the trade rumors, the coaching rumors and the coaching vacancies and whatnot. But he never got a job. I don't know if if it was up to him, like he didn't want the job offered to him and he just wanted to stay another year with Carolina, or if no team offered him the actual job, so he was forced to stay with Carolina. Regardless, he stayed another year with Carolina, and the defense was pretty good. When you think about the Carolina Panthers, you think of Cam Newton and defense. In particular, Luke Kuechly, beast. He's a top 3 linebacker in the league easily. Carolina, they run they run a 4-3 defense, something that the Buffalo Bills are constructed to do. That's like how their roster's made to get after the passer and whatnot. Have 2 end rushers and have 3 stand-up linebackers. Not what Rex was trying to do, which is 3 linemen and then 4 stand-up linebackers, with usually like 1 roaming around or 1 overloading one side and whatnot. So, they fired Rex Ryan week 16 of last season before they played the Jets. And, there was a lot of things that they didn't like about Rex. Number 1, his guarantees. Number 2, still not making the playoffs. And then number 3, which I think was the last straw, which was he was committed to Tyrod Taylor being the starting quarterback for Week 17, and that's not the route that the upper management wanted to go. They wanted to bench him for that last week because they wanted to save money or something like that. Something within Tyrod's contract. Something to where if he gets hurt or something like that, he's owed a lot of money. I don't know the exact amount, and I don't really know the exact details of that situation, but regardless, it's in the past, and they fired Rex Ryan because of it. So they fired Rex, and they just brought in Sean McDermott. Now, the rumor is that he could bring ex-head coach of the San Diego Chargers, Mike McCoy, in as offensive coordinator. And that is tough to hear as a Jet fan, and it's going to be tough for the Patriots and the Dolphins to hear that news because, when you think of Mike McCoy and the places that he's coached, obviously Denver and then San Diego these past 4 seasons, I believe. The San Diego Chargers offense has been great, especially considering the fact that, Keenan Allen gets hurt all the time. The offensive line, it only seems like the only 2 parts that stay the same on the Chargers offense is Phillip Rivers, the quarterback, and the tight end, Antonio Gates. Everything else usually changes year in, year out. It's always a different line. Keenan Allen's always getting hurt. They brought in Stevie Johnson, and he was going to play a big role in the slot. He actually, I think, tore his Achilles before the season even started. Danny Woodhead is he's always getting in and out of injury and concussion protocol and this and that. So, at the end of the day, the San Diego Chargers deal with a lot of injuries, and Mike McCoy still gets a lot of production out of that offense, which is pretty remarkable, I must say. And if McCoy goes to Buffalo as well as Sean McDermott, I think right off the bat the Buffalo Bills are improved because of, on defense, the way the team is constructed. They're built like a 4-3 team. That's not what Rex wanted to do, and he didn't really have numbers-wise success. But if you think back a little bit longer, Jim Schwartz, he used to coach the defense over in Buffalo with Doug Marrone, and the defense was actually top-notch. I think it was a top 10 defense in the league. And when Doug Marrone quit, they just decided to fire Jim Schwartz, and then they hired Rex and stuff. So now they're going back to the 4-3 system. That's what McDermott ran at Carolina. I don't see him switching it up. I see him coming over to Buffalo, having a lot of he knows how to get after the passer. I mean, he has schemes and blitzes set up to where he could get after the passer. I believe they were 7th in sacks this past season with Carolina, not Buffalo. The Panthers were 7th in sacks, which is pretty good considering that the Buffalo Bills struggled in getting after the passer this past season, or these past 2 seasons. So that should be an increase right off the bat. They obviously have the number 10 pick in the draft, and then free agency, that's coming up too. So the Buffalo Bills, I look to be definitely improved. I don't know how much they're going to be improved because I know they have some cap issues, and then they obviously had the big question mark at quarterback with Tyrod Taylor. If Mike McCoy, gets hired or gets brought in by McDermott, it's going to be interesting to see on whether or not he wants to keep Tyrod, and whether or not, if he wants to or not, if the Bills want to, or like if the the top of the the management over in Buffalo wants to keep him because of the contract situation. So they might just say, straight up just force Sean McDermott just to say, no, you can't have him because we're cutting him regardless because we're not trying to pay him the $30 million. So that's what I could see happening, but it's going to be interesting to see how this whole situation pans out. And I'm going to be keeping my eye on the whole situation too because, obviously they're in the AFC East and stuff like that. So, I should be keeping a really close eye on the Buffalo Bills within the offseason and whatnot. So yeah, that's basically the breaking news, that the Buffalo Bills hire Sean McDermott. Now, my last hiring video, I rated the Doug Marrone and Tom Coughlin hire. And out of 5, I actually rated it a 5 because with the hand that they were dealt, with the candidates that were out there, they narrowed it down to 2 candidates, Doug Marrone and Tom Coughlin, and they were able to bring in both. And right off the bat, that's an automatic 5 for me because you narrow, basically you're 2 candidates to coach your team. You get them both, and one's a coach, and then one is the vice president in Coughlin. So, I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars really just hit that one out of the park. But in regards to Buffalo, if they bring in Mike McCoy, I'm gonna give this move a 4 out of 5. I mean, they're going back to what they like to do, a 4-3 style, get after the passer. Mike McCoy's a very good offensive mind, and for the coaches that are out there right now, I think this is they're getting a steal if they could bring in these 2 guys. Also, another thing too about McCoy that I like, if McDermott struggles within 3 years or 4 years or whatnot, McCoy is there in prime position to take over as the head coaching role, which is something you don't really see often. But when it does happen, your team, it's always like that extra luxury too. So, good news for Buffalo. I mean, I'm a Jet fan, so I'm kind of sitting here like scratching my head like, it's going to be tough. McCoy, obviously Belichick, and then Adam Gase, he made the playoffs with the Miami Dolphins in his rookie season as a head coach too. So, right now it's not looking too good for the Jets in the coaching department, but it is what it is. So the Buffalo Bills hire Sean McDermott as head coach, and the rumor is that he's going to try to bring over offensive coordinator Mike McCoy.